The views expressed in this show do not necessarily represent those of the Office of the Provincial Advocate for Children and Youth.
Why are you listening?
Why are you different?
Why are you here?
Why are you connected?
Why are you tuned in?
Why are you inspired?
Why are you on CJRU? Welcome to Why Are You? Allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Cody.
And I'm Jasmine. We'll be bringing you stories, news, music, by, for, and about youth.
For our first show, we decided that each member of the Why Are You creative team will be bringing you a segment to demonstrate for you what they aim to bring to us.
First up, Lalo.
Hello, my name is Lalo and I have lived in Toronto all my life. I am 21 years old and I am studying at York University. When I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with autism at the Hospital for Sick Children. At that age, my parents were worried about me because even though I talked, I didn't really communicate with them. I also used to have severe tantrums and certain sounds really upset me. For example, I used to panic if I heard a fire alarm and the sound of scissors. I wouldn't let anyone cut my hair, so my mom would cut it when I was sleeping. Overall, I would say that my autism is mild and high functioning. It has affected my language processing skills, so at times I can't think of the right words to say, and I also suffer from anxiety. For example, if I'm in a situation that I don't know how it will play out, I can get very anxious. I need to know exactly what's going to happen, otherwise I can start to panic. But the thing I'm going to tell you about today is my hypersensitive hearing. I can hear things extremely well, but sometimes I hear too much, and it makes everything very stressful for me. When I was little, it was worse. As I mentioned before, different sounds could really make me panic. But even then, I was starting to take an interest. As a small child, I could tell what kind of subway train was approaching before even seeing it because the different types of trains make different sounds. But one area where my sensitive hearing really affects me negatively is with people. It's especially difficult when I'm with a large group. Sometimes it's hard to follow conversations because too many people are talking at once and there is just too much sound. Although my sensitive hearing was a big problem when I was little, and sometimes it still is, ironically it has become a positive aspect of myself. During the years I eventually discovered that I have perfect pitch and I can hear small details really well. At first I studied music, but then my focus changed. When I was in high school, I had a co-op placement at an animation/film studio called Smiley Guy Studios where I was a sound design assistant. I was introduced to a variety of elements in sound design, and the possibility of working in TV and film became very exciting, and I gave up my dream of becoming a rock star. I worked on a few animated web series such as Hare and Mole and Warren United, for which I also composed additional music for 2 episodes. During my time there, I began to realize that my hearing, which has always been a challenge for me, could be my strength. Sounds have always been a very big part of how I experience the world. At the end of high school, I applied and got into the film production program at York University. I'm going into 3rd year and I'm learning to become a filmmaker, but of course my focus is sound. I first heard about YRU from Janet McDougall of Yes I Can School after I interviewed her for a short film I made. I decided to get involved because even though a lot of people are interested in autism, the information doesn't come from people with autism. I think YRU will be a good place for me to tell my own story.
All right, everyone, that was Lalo. Lalo, thanks for sharing with us.
Up next, we have Annika.
So, hello, my name is Annika Foreman. I am one of the 7 other radio peeps in this show that we are putting on out of Ryerson University. So, what got me interested into this show, this show, is talking about career and the potential possibility of career and journalism as a possible career choice. I always find it interesting to talk about things. That's sort of my main mode of expression. I feel like I'm not one to write things down. I'm not one to write like essays, and so it's really interesting because, you know, for me, like at school and whatever, I was never the one to be good at writing essays because I'm always like, well, you know, whatever I have to say, I'd rather just talk about it than write it down because, I don't know, I just didn't find, I found it quite difficult to write my thoughts down and express myself in writing. So I would always look for ways to talk about things, to express my ideas. And what I would actually do is I would, if I had to write an essay, I would record my thoughts about whatever the topic was on my iPhone. And then I would basically then write, I'd have to listen. It was very old school. I'd listen to what I had said, and then I would basically just write it down verbatim. So that was always a way that I kind of got through high school essays and such. I don't know how easy that's going to be to do in university. Maybe we'll have to get... There's this really cool program where you can basically just talk into the program and it will type everything you say. Sort of like what they have on iPhones, but like way better, and things don't come out as gibberish. Things actually make sense. I might get that. Anyways, so yeah, but a little something about how I got here. So I first heard about this group through the Dufferin and Grove list, which is like an email-wide community neighborhood list. And my mom forwarded it to me. She's like, I think this would be great for you, which made sense because I had applied and gotten into Carleton for journalism. So she knew that I had an interest in that field. And so she told me about it. I looked into it, I checked it out, I applied, and bam, we are here. So I'm looking forward. I think this is going to be a great opportunity, not just whatever journalistic skills I may get out of it, whatever interesting topics I may talk about and discover. I think it's just going to be cool to be part of a group and just hear about other young people are going through and their struggles and their interests, and just kind of talk and collaborate. I think is just kind of the main goal in all this. So that's what's going to be really cool, the cool part for me.
Up next, we have a little something by my co-host, Jasmine.
Hey everyone, it's Jasmine. To start off, I'm just going to tell you quickly a little bit about myself. I'm currently a Ryerson student. I'm studying social work. I'll be going into my third year this coming September. I work part-time at Community Living Toronto. I work both with youth and adults who have intellectual disabilities. In my spare time, I'm a dance teacher. I choreograph mostly hip-hop numbers. And yeah, that's basically it. I want to show you guys what sustains me when all else falls away. Thanks, everyone. It's titled The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where, what, or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. So I hope from this passage you see a little bit about where I'm passionate and you have seen a little bit about myself.
Thank you, Jasmine, for sharing that with us. Welcome to the mic, Siobhan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Siobhan. Welcome again to YRU. I'm very excited to be a part of this radio and podcast project. I look forward to giving a voice to the voiceless and talking about the city in a new light. I think as youth in Toronto, we're one of the most unique people in the world. Many of us are second-generation immigrants who identify with the culture of our parents, but also with the one in our city. The Jamaican and Somalian diaspora, for example, has a strong influence on the social makeup of our city. Toronto is vibrant, full of artists, thinkers who are exceeding limits when it comes to creativity. Also, young athletes who are making a name for themselves internationally and achieving success on the professional level. This show will be a great platform for those individuals who represent that but do not appeal to the mainstream media. Being the controversial person I am, I would also like to discuss some of the more darker topics that we face in society here in Toronto and on a global scale. Growing up the way I did, I felt that when injustice happened, that people never had the right reaction to it. They weren't passionate about change. I witnessed violence and poverty all my life, so I view the side of Toronto many aren't aware about. I guess that brings you to why I'm here. I want to change the culture for those from low-income environments who feel oppressed and hopeless. I want to inspire unity and enlightenment to youth like me so we can set the precedent for the next generation. I think as a multicultural city, we have a responsibility to talk about systematic racism, classism, and all types of social injustice, and also be on the front lines of immigration rights. So the world is paying close attention to the six right now. I ask that you guys tune into YRU for authentic and vibrant content.
Cool. Thanks, Siobhan.
Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Sitting on the curb, ba-da-da-da, thinking about the world, ba-da-da-da, wondering when my next ride would come, ba-da-da-da, wondering when my next time would come, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Backpack on my back, backpack on my back, sleeping on the fact that my life is an act on my back. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Meet me at that place, ba-da-da-da. You know, the abandoned army base, breathing in lingering rays, ba-da-da-da. You couldn't get that taste away, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now my ride has come, ba-da-da-da. Now my time has come to say what I want to say before anyone takes it away. Before anyone takes it away.
All right, welcome back. That was just a little musical break.
Up next, we have Peyton.
Hi, my name is Peyton. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently taking a lap year at high school, but in the fall, I will be attending Guelph Humber for social work. It's something that I didn't really imagine myself doing. I'd always been one of those girls who wanted to be an actress or a princess, but I found social work through my love of being around my grandparents. And with the aging population, I decided that going into gerontology would not only be a viable career option considering the aging population, but it would also be an enjoyable one. I struggled at school for most of my time. I was getting 40s in grade 9, But when the time really counted, I was able to pull my socks up and get some pretty amazing grades that I couldn't have even imagined myself getting. But I think the biggest reason that after grade 9 I started getting very good grades was through my friends. I'm very lucky to have the same friends that I met the first week of high school, and they've stuck with me throughout everything. And after grade 9 was sort of the point where I said, okay, I feel confident in who I'm friends with and that we're going to stay friends. I never really had friends as a kid. I was sort of bullied a little bit and sort of the outcast. But once I found these friends, it was the key to my confidence, I found. And my grades were better. My family relationships were better. Everything started just to get better because of these people I had in my life. And they weren't necessarily doing any heroic tasks or really even talking to me about school, but just their presence and their support, even if not verbally stated constantly, knowing that they were there for me. And I finally had a place in a group of friends, which has now become quite large. I think we're about 20 when we get all together, which is a nightmare for having them over. But that's probably a story for another time. I guess it's just, if you are struggling with school or at home or in any facet of life, or even friends, just find something or someone that you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a group of 20. It can be one person. It can be one website. It can even be one movie. I definitely think that this little piece of advice is a pretty good way to introduce myself, and I really hope you enjoyed hearing a little about me. And that's why I'm here.
Okay, everyone, that was Peyton. Peyton, thanks for sharing with us. That was a really great story.
Next up, Dante.
Coming to you live from the YRU. My name is Dante, and I'm going to give you a little summary of who I am and why I'm on the show. So, me, I'm an upcoming rap and singing artist from Toronto, and I like music. And my meaning and my being for being on the show is just, talk for those who don't have a voice to speak about all of these issues of today in our everyday life, because there's a lot of people who are going through things and are going through a lot of problems and issues, but the one thing is they can't speak upon the issues because they don't have that voice. They're not at that level where they could just speak about it. So I'm just here to speak about those issues and just talk for all of those who do not have that voice to speak. And I think I could benefit this show in a very positive way. And also, right now, I'm just going to give you guys a little taste on 2 songs that I've written. So, it goes like this. It's about time I sent out this message. Tired of holding feelings back like I'm trying to prevent ish. Her and not innocent, and now my name's getting mentioned. Don't act like I never showed you signs I was trying to prevent this. But I guess she did not get the message. I tried, then I came to my senses. Tears only fall when you start to regret ish. In other words, that means you came to your senses. With you I use all 5 senses, especially when I heard all of your bullish. Me loving another, getting you jealous. No matter how much you try to deny it, your feelings are your feelings, so why do you try to hide it? Lesson learned, read who you side with. It's a rocky road, know who you drive with. I put up firewalls, no one can be trusted. The person that you put first will put you second. And then, what you working for? Tell me what you working for. Couple things on your mind, need to open more. You can't too much trapped inside. You won't let it out. You need to know, babe, not everything will go your way. You're so stubborn, we got that, and coming with each other. I see an open door, just gotta take some more. Ooh, for more money, gotta make some more. I play the main position, I don't play the side position, no. Okay, I'ma speak to my views. There's a difference on how you get treated by who you choose. That means good for you, might not be for you, but who's bad for you? Take a chance, you never know. They just might be good for you. There's a line between real and fake, but nobody could pick or choose. Not a hard decision, people make it seem like it's so cruel. Love should never hurt, so tell me why does it end so cruel? But yeah, those are 3 songs I've actually written. I just put them all in one. Yeah, that's me, so I guess that's it.
And again, that was Dante. Thanks for sharing.
I quit my job today. I just didn't go into work. You know, I really hated working there. The hours were really long and the work was hard. I don't really want to say anything bad about the place that I worked at. It wasn't enough. Not anymore. I need to feel happy. I don't necessarily need to enjoy what I do all the time, but I need to feel like what I'm doing means something. The other thing I was thinking about is how I like to comfort myself. I find that when I'm most upset, I like to do this strange thing. I like to wear other people's clothes. I know it sounds weird, but I guess what I mean by that is, I don't know, I was feeling really depressed on Tuesday. I had stayed at my boyfriend's place the night before, and I woke up, and I put on a shirt of his, and his shorts, and I just sat in his clothes all day. When I know that I'm going to have to go to work, and I really don't want to go, I'll steal some of his clothes and I'll wear them to work. It just makes me feel better. And even right now, I'm hanging out in my friend's house. She's at work. Her girlfriend went to a doctor's appointment, and her friend who's staying with her right now went to the library to work. And I'm here by myself, and I'm wearing her clothing. And I feel better. And I don't know why. I think it has something to do with just feeling like you're surrounded by someone who cares about you. And I guess that's kind of been my intent for my first show for YRU. This is essentially just a big love letter to the people that I care most about or think need a place in the world that tells them how important and valued they are. You know, I have tons of clips now of me laughing and playing and being with these people. These people who mean so much to me. They take care of me, they know me, and they love me. And it's so important to know that you have that in the world. And so whether or not they're listening to this show, I want them to know that I love them and that their relationships and their lives and the things they do are so important to me. I don't know if any of this is going to mean anything to anyone who hears it besides me. But I hope that listening to this, you, whoever you are, get an idea of what it is that I want to bring to this, to YRU and to the people that I'm lucky enough to be able to work with on this. I want to be personal. I want to talk about the things that I care about, the people that I care about, art that I care about. I want to share with you, whoever you are, everything in life that I think is important. Signing off for YRU Radio. This was your co-hosts, Cody
And Jasmine.
and we'll see you next time.